Welcome back to the podcast. I'm recording this after just getting off of vacation, and I have to say it was amazing. It was such a good time. Such a good time off. It was so needed, and I highly recommend everyone take a vacation and fully just unplug from your business because we all need to do that sometimes. So, that is not what the podcast, however, is about today. I just wanted to pop that in there because it was really, really great and refreshing. But the podcast today is all about repurposing your content. And I think that this is super important because I know it's one of those things, like content is something that so many people spend so much time on in your business, especially like being an online business owner. You spend a lot of time creating content for your business, and sometimes it can feel like that is almost taking over everything that you do, which it really doesn't have to. So, I want to share some things with you today to make that a lot easier and make your content work harder for you. And this is kind of how we're going to do that. So, we're going to talk about how you can repurpose your content across platforms. So I don't want you to think now when you're hearing this that you need to go and be on all of the platforms. That is not the point of this. And I'm actually going to be recording another episode all about marketing your business and all about the platforms that you can be on and what that can look like. And I'm going to go into, what it looks like when I'm marketing my business, why it looks that way, and what, general recommendations that I have. But this is not to say that you need to be on every platform because that isn't even, you know, that is not good advice. You don't. It totally depends on your business. However, this is how you can repurpose your content across multiple platforms, make it work harder for you, and not take up so much of your time trying to think of, new content for each platform, or it taking so much time you just getting the content out there across these platforms. So I have lots around this today. Make sure this is going to be like a pretty tangible episode. So if you have pen, your notebook, all of the things, if you want to save this, come back to it, probably a good idea. There's going to be a lot in this one. So let's get into it. The first thing we're going to go over, basically looking at starting from when you're posting on Instagram, because that's essentially the main platform. Sure, you can start on TikTok, Facebook, whatever. Most people are starting with their main platform being Instagram, right? So that's the lens that we are going to look at this today. Taking first, we're going to go through a static post, then we're going to look at reels, carousel posts, and what you can do with your lives. So we're going to look at all four of those and how you can repurpose those across multiple platforms. So first, static post. When you create this, you post it to your Instagram. This is the easiest one to repurpose across the platforms because with a static post, literally all you need to do is take the same thing and post it across the platforms. That is it. Post the exact same thing. Same picture, same caption. Exactly the same. Now, if you want to save more time, I do recommend getting a scheduler, something like Later. That's the one that I use. I really like it. It works really well. You can post to Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, LinkedIn. I think Twitter is also on there. I don't know who uses Twitter, but if you do, that's an option. There might be, oh, Pinterest is also, that might be the ones that it does. Does it do Facebook? It might do Facebook as well. I'm sure that it does, if it does the other ones. So those are all of the platforms that you can have being posted to, and you can set this up to just pre-schedule that post to all of your platforms at one time. Once it's written, it is done. That saves so much time. Now, the other thing that I would recommend, and this is where Asana comes in super handy. And it's going to make so much more sense when we go into repurposing the reels and the carousel posts and the lives. Because if you have something like Asana, then you can store all of your content in here. What I really like to do, and what all of my clients do, because I teach them this system, is we set up our content in Asana and write it out in here. It saves it all in here. So whether it's a static post, whether it's a reel, a carousel post, like no matter what it is, usually not live so much, because unless you're doing it scripted, you don't usually save what you're going to say. You can do that if you want, but generally not. Just the caption for that one. But the rest of them, like for reels, you would save even the text that you want on the reel, as well as the caption. Save it all in Asana. It gives you a huge content bank. Then with these posts, all you need to do is copy and paste everything over. So even if you don't have a scheduler, if you don't feel like that is what you want to do at this point, and you don't like, this isn't something that you absolutely need, totally up to you. It is time saving, but if you follow this system that I'm talking about, even doing this is going to save you a shit ton of time without even having the scheduler. So if you have it in Asana, no scheduler, you take your static posts, you have your picture, all you need to do is copy and paste that caption and post your posts across the platforms. So you can post it Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook. Those are, really good ones to do for the static post. Now, TikTok, I know you can post pictures like static posts on there now. They do allow you to do that. They allow you to do carousels. I don't see them working as well as videos because, TikTok's primarily meant for video. Those ones I would not recommend actually posting there, but I will tell you what you can do instead. And we will get to that when we cover carousel posts, because those can be broken out and can cover the days when you are doing static posts on Instagram. So for static posts on those days, what you're going to do, take the same post, post it across. Then it's done. And yes, you're going to post the exact same thing, the exact same thing. And so many people ask me, literally, is that okay? 100%. Of course, that's okay. For one thing, the same people aren't always following you on the same platforms. Not everyone follows you on all of the platforms. And even if they do, not everybody sees your content. We know this because algorithms exist, and therefore not everybody sees your content. And even if they see it twice, that's okay. Most people need to see something more than once for it to really sink in, for it to resonate. If it's an amazing piece of content and they see it more than once, good. That's what we really want. It is totally fine. And you're not going to be talking about completely different things. You're not talking about, let's say, if you're a fitness coach, you're not talking about, your fitness plans being weight training based when you're talking about it on Instagram, and then talking about swimming when you're talking on TikTok. Like they're going to be, you're talking about the same things. So don't worry about it being the exact same post. It's totally fine. And this is where it is going to save you so much time. A lot of the time, though, it's these like mindset things more so that come up and tell us, no, we have to create something different. You have to do more, but you don't. You really, really don't. So that is a static post. That is what you're going to do for that. Now, for reels, whether if you edit your reels outside of the Instagram editor, then you will have it saved with your, text on screen if you do that, or if it's a talking one, you have the captions, like you have all of the editing done, and there won't be a watermark on it. So then it's just the video. That is great because then you can take it and you can post it across multiple platforms. So that's perfect. If you edit in Instagram, all you need to do is save before you post, right? After you edit it, get all of your editing done before you post, save. Then the watermark is not on there. You don't have to worry about it. If you accidentally post it before you save, there is an app. It's called Snaptick. I will leave the name of it in the show notes and in the caption or in the whatever, the box on YouTube. I always forget the name of it. So bad with that. But anyways, in the box thing on YouTube. But you can use that in order to take that watermark off of the video if you have accidentally posted it after editing. And then it still looks the same. And you can still use that video and post it across multiple platforms. So then you get, your reel on Instagram. You can obviously post it to TikTok now, Facebook. You can post it on LinkedIn. All of those places, you can post it right across there. Now, if you have the scheduler, you just pop it in with the caption that you are copying from your Asana because everything's in there. So copy and paste, post the video in there, and you schedule to all of them and it's done. If you are posting per platform, all you have to do is just take the video, upload it into the platforms, copy the caption, and then post it with that video onto each platform. But this saves so much time, an enormous amount of time, especially if you are wanting to be on multiple platforms. This is how you're going to cut down the time and actually make that happen and not feel like, it's taking up most of your day. Okay, so for carousel posts, now these are going to give you the most content out of everything. When you post them on Instagram, you can post them the same way on Facebook, on LinkedIn, and it doesn't matter. Facebook, yes, they will show up in whatever, however many pictures. It's fine. People will still click to open it and they'll read it. It is okay. Another thing that you can do if you really want to is break out one of the tips. Like, let's say you have like 3 tips to whatever. Or usually in carousel posts, it's like, you're explaining something in more detail. So you take out one of the details if you want to only have like one main post on Facebook instead of the whole collage, how it looks. If you don't like that, take out one of the main posts and explain the rest in your caption. You can do that as well. On LinkedIn, just post them all. Post them all with a caption. It's fine. People will click through and they will read this. This is how you are going to save so much time. You're going to save yourself time, and you are going to get on these different platforms using your content. Now, for when you are doing this and repurposing it for TikTok, again, like I said, for the static posts, you can post it to TikTok like a carousel post. I don't see these doing like really well because TikTok is made for video. So what I would recommend you do is one of two things. The first thing, like I said, you can take one of the points out of your carousel post, like break it into however many points you've made in the post, because usually carousel posts have a few points, right? So identify the main points, make a video on one of the points, or multiple videos on each point. Then you have a number of videos. Say it's the tip example again. So you have 3 tips that you're sharing in this carousel post. You would make 3 videos sharing each of the tips and just going a little bit deeper into each tip. Then you would go onto TikTok and you would share that video with the 1 tip. Your caption, you would just cut out what is relevant to that tip, right? So you would have to kind of rework it a little bit. So this takes a little bit more time, but it's still using that same content and making like saving a lot of time rather than trying to come up with something brand new for every single platform. The second way that you can do it is if you want to share all 3 tips. We're using the tip example in that one video. Share all 3 and just make the video about the 3 tips. That's all that you need to do. And you can literally read like right off the carousel post. It doesn't matter. You're, again, sharing the same things. So share those 3 tips. Use the same caption as you've already written. Copy and paste that. And you're going to post it. Now you've posted across multiple platforms and you've gotten all of your content out. And it's going to take you way less time. You've done this from 1 post. All of these, like the biggest takeaway, this is all doing this each day from 1 post and getting it across all of these platforms. And really, instead of you working for your content is working for you. And that's how we stretch it so much further. Now, with your lives on Instagram, there's a few different things that you can do if you choose to do this. You can, save them from Instagram. And if you want to do this, what you can do is you can download them and cut out little pieces of them. Make reels. Make reels. If you do a really good live and you're like, that was amazing. I had some really good points in there. I loved how I expressed myself. I really, I was really into that and it really hit well. Save it. CapCut is free. And I tell everyone this that I see as having like issues with editing anything or like ask questions about editing. CapCut, free. You can do it on desktop or on your phone, but save that video. You can cut out reels from that. Then you can post it. You can repost just like snippets of reels on Instagram from that live. You can post it on TikTok, Facebook, LinkedIn. You can do YouTube shorts. You can post it across so many platforms. And that live, depending on how long it is and how many reels you cut out of it, can go really far. So there's bunch of things that you can do for repurposing content and really making it work for you. The biggest tips that I want you to take away from this is making sure that you are using the same posts across multiple platforms. Don't be creating, new posts for every platform you're on. You don't need to do that. Now, when we also work in email here, email is a little bit different because you don't need, you can do it every day if you really wanted to. You don't need to. The way that I would do your email is looking at which one of your posts. You can either use a post from the week before, or you can look ahead and see which post you want to do for that week's email. If you look at the week before, you can see, okay, which post did really well, which got a lot of engagement, which did people really enjoy. Copy and paste that into your email and send that because people liked it. And yes, you can do that. Even doesn't matter if people have seen it, because not everyone, I guarantee you, not everyone on your email list has seen that content. Copy and paste it, make things easier for yourself. Now your weekly email is done. It is all done. If you're doing it looking at your content for the upcoming week, look at, what do you want to share? What do you have going on? What are the things that you're promoting right now? What's relevant? What do you want to talk about in that email? Take one of those posts, same thing, copy and paste it, send that out. You might want to rework it a little bit. If you do that, I usually do that for my email, sorry. I do that sometimes, but sometimes I will just copy and paste them and send it. And that's totally fine too. But this will cut down so much time for you. Instead of trying to figure out what you are going to write and what you are going to do and create for every single platform, because that takes a lot of time. And, you don't need to be on every platform. Like I said, this is not now how you can get on every platform, but if you are on multiple, this is how you're going to save time getting your content up across all of them. So those are my tips for repurposing your content across all of those platforms. And let me know which you found most helpful. Let me know how this works out for you. I would love to hear how this works for you once you try it. And that is it for today. I hope you enjoyed this one. If you are on YouTube, make sure you like and subscribe, and I will catch you in the next one.